With his popular new YouTube channel, Some Good News, John Krasinski is showing how powerful it can be to combine humility, positivity, and humor. So in this video, we'll be covering 5 ways John is able to make people laugh that you can use in any situation, from school to work to dates, that will get people to instantly like you more. At the end, we'll also cover a major mistake most people make and how you can avoid it. The first secret to John's charm is that he uses go-to stories. When he finds a story that gets a laugh, he uses it again. Watch as he tells the same story on both Jimmy Kimmel and Graham Norton.
And he said, says here that you're an actor. And I said, yeah. And he said, would I know you from anything? And I went, you know, we redid the UK version of The Office.
Oh, I love that show.
He says, who are you visiting here? I said, my wife. And he says, is she an actress? And I said, yeah. He said, would I know her? I said, I don't know. And he said, what's her name? And I said, Emily Blunt, as he was writing something. And he went, you? You married Emily Blunt. And I go, yeah. And he goes like this. Okay, go. Let's go.
So the next time you tell a story that gets a great reaction, make a mental note to yourself. Having a handful of stories you know get a laugh will instantly boost your confidence in conversation. Just be mindful you don't use the same story over and over with the same audience. Beyond that, John does something very specific during the jokes in his stories that guarantees he gets a laugh. He acts out his characters. Watch as John tells the story of how he and his wife met President Obama.
He was so nervous to meet him that he said, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh my gosh, I really love what you do. God, I love all your movies. And she went, and I said, Emily, and she was like, wait. And so I was like, you're acting very dumb. And he goes, can't forget about this guy. I love The Office. And I went,
Playing the characters in your stories is one of the fastest ways to take a bland story and make it laugh out loud funny. And it's much easier than it looks. There are 2 key things to play with if you want to play a character: your body and your voice. For an easy example, watch how John makes use of his hands in order to add absurdity to this next joke.
You were a proper fan of it.
oh, I was full stalker status. Yeah. I was just like, hey, you want to go on a date with me?
Imagine if John told that joke without using his hands. It wouldn't have been nearly as funny. You'll see in this next clip how John can use his entire body to get a laugh too.
Hazel's teacher says, hey, Violet, want to come in the classroom and talk for a bit? That was the first time she knew it was about her. And she turned to my wife and went, oh my God!
John takes his physical comedy even further by altering his voice as well.
And I was like, I was like running on some rooftops, and then like a guy jumps into the Thames, and he was like, really? That's absolutely wonderful. Good for you. That's fantastic. Fantastic.
Now, we aren't all actors like John, but specifically with funny stories, the good news is that your impressions don't even have to be good. Just clearly move and speak as someone different than yourself, and you will get a bigger laugh. If this seems like it would be hard to remember on the spot, then one easy trick is to set a phone reminder before your next social event, reminding yourself to play the characters in your jokes. It may sound strange, but it'll make your night way more fun, and you will notice people start to be drawn to you as you tell your stories. One common theme you'll notice in John's jokes so far is he's not worried about making himself look good. By making jokes about stalking his wife or crying in front of Obama, John shows he's comfortable using self-deprecating humor to get a laugh. Watch as he talks about taking his wife to the gun range for the first date.
We were experiencing it for the first time, which was pretty great, except I think yelped the first time. I was like,
Most people in conversation are trying to make themselves look good. By making a joke at your own expense, you immediately separate yourself from that pack. Now, some people worry that self-deprecating jokes will make them look bad by calling attention to their flaws, and this can happen if you don't do it correctly. So there's 2 good rules to follow. One option is to make a self-deprecating joke that is obviously not true. Take this example of John with Ellen.
Name a celebrity who hasn't returned a text you sent.
Name one who has.
And the second option is to make a joke that may or may not be true, but that you aren't insecure about, like this example of John talking about his wife.
And how's your wife, the beautiful Emily Blunt? We
Fantastic.
love Emily.
Fantastic. That reaction means I married up, and don't I know it? Don't I know it?
In most instances where self-deprecating jokes go wrong, it's because someone is trying to make a joke about something that they're genuinely insecure about. They're hoping that if they bully themselves first, it will make other people bully them less. Instead, make fun of yourself for things you don't care about. A good way to know is to ask yourself, would I care if someone else made this joke about me? John is a master of the flip side of self-deprecating humor as well. He tells jokes that elevate other people. Watch this clip where Ellen is congratulating John for being honored as one of the sexiest men in America, and John turns it into a joke elevating Brad Pitt instead.
To be really honest, I thought Brad Pitt was the sexiest person every year
I mean, like, he must get the phone call and he just goes, yeah, no, guys, somebody else is here. And they're like, great, we just had to ask, and now we'll go to somebody else. But he has to be.
Most people tell jokes that put other people down, and while that may get a laugh, it also runs the risk of making people resent you. If instead you focus on making jokes that elevate other people, you get the laugh and you strengthen the relationship with that person. The danger here is that if you do it wrong, you can end up looking like a suck-up. Nothing turns people off faster than if they think you're trying to get close to them with flattery. Because of that, there are two key elements to make a complimentary joke go well. First, your joke has to be genuine. So before attempting to jokingly elevate someone, ask yourself, what do I truly admire about this person? This will naturally help your delivery. Second, exaggerate the compliment. John doesn't just say Brad Pitt is handsome. He says he's so handsome that he gets a call from People magazine every single year. Here's another example of John describing what it's like to meet Tom Brady.
I met him, and I think I realized there's a computer chip put in you, even though he wasn't playing it. They put a computer chip in you that when you meet Tom Brady, your computer shuts off. So he was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, pretty good. And that's all I remember about meeting him. Yep.
That exaggerated absurdity will make sure your compliments get a laugh. And even if the person you're talking to isn't the person you're complimenting, the positivity and confidence that you show by hyping someone else up will make them instantly like you more. There's also a second, much easier technique John uses to jokingly elevate others around him. He doubles down on other people's jokes. Watch John build on Ellen's joke here and take note of Ellen's reaction.
Did you write with a pen, like a
It
quill?
It was like a long feather. It took forever.
He does it again here with Conan O'Brien and gets a big laugh.
A lot of times, mostly in life, if someone pops out of a door and says, do you want to meet them? You say no.
Yeah. And then they just do this and you slowly go to bed.
Doubling down is nice because you're essentially complimenting the other person by saying, hey, I like your joke, let's keep it going. This is a great way to make people like you, and it can be super fun if you start to go back and forth with each other like Graham Norton and John do here.
Are they American children?
You like dry heaved. You were like, are they American?
Have you given birth to?
Oh, God.
It's worse than the film.
So next time you're in conversation, instead of trying to grab the spotlight, let other people go first. Then when someone tells a joke, rather than trying to figure out how you can bring attention to yourself, ask, how can I double down on their joke to make it even funnier? If this is a skill you want to improve and you aren't quite sure how, a great first step is to watch improv shows like Whose Line Is It Anyway? Improv is based all around the idea of building on other people's jokes, and simply by watching it, you will start to absorb their thought patterns. Now, this video has focused a lot on John's humor, but it's important to note he doesn't play the role of a class clown who can't be serious. When the opportunity presents itself, John will be genuine and share his emotions, specifically emotions that other men might be embarrassed about, like here where he admits to being a crier.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm a crier. I have no hard time saying that, and I cry at everything.
Or here where he admits he was scared the first time he approached his wife.
Was she intimidating at all to you?
Yes, incredibly intimidating. I was scared out of my mind to even go up and say hi to her.
These are feelings most people have but lack the confidence to share because they fear the judgment of others. But hiding these feelings is a big mistake. When you share emotions with people that they themselves have but try to hide, it has two positive effects. They'll admire you for sharing something vulnerable, and they'll feel closer to you because they have those same feelings. If you feel like you don't have the confidence for that, I recommend checking out our program, Charisma University. It's the fastest way I know to build your charisma and confidence. It's literally guaranteed to work in just 30 days. And it's structured with a daily action guide, so there's no guesswork when it comes to learning these habits. Now, you can read all about the details in the link below, but I figured the best way to let you know what this is all about is just to let the members speak for themselves. So here are just a few of the things that CU members have written in via email or the course comments. The first one comes from a guy who got promoted to a senior position early in his career, and he says, I don't even have a bachelor diploma, yet they want me to fill this position, and when asked why, this was the answer. You have great social skills, which is rare for an engineer. You can think quick on your feet, and you are open and self-assured in your demeanor. Thank you so much for all that you taught me. You have truly changed my life because without CU, I wouldn't have qualified for that position in a million lifetimes. Now, this next one comes from another person who started a new job saying, I wanted to let you know that I nailed those first few days at work. Everything that I needed was right there at the right moment. The confidence, the energy, the smile, the positive mindset, and with all your tips from last Tuesday in mind, it just could not go wrong. And he finishes by saying, I just wanted to emphasize that what I did the previous days would not even have come to mind if I had not discovered that charisma is a skill that can be learned thanks to your YouTube channel and and university program. And this last one is a comment in the course from someone who used it mainly to improve their social and dating life. And he says, life-changing. In 6 weeks, I went from being socially awkward with few friends to the life of every event I attend. I also went from having serious girl problems to dating the girl of my dreams. Charisma University transformed me from a lonely introvert hoping to better connect with people to an energy-filled extrovert who makes new friends everywhere I go. And there are more success stories like those in the comments if you decide to join the course. If you do join, it comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, which is 100% for any reason at all. And it's 60 days, even though the course is only 30 days, because I want to make sure that every single person truly feels like they're getting a ton of value from the course. Otherwise, you can just refund. So if you want to check the course out, go ahead and click the link on screen now or below in the description. We've had thousands of members go through this course and get a ton out of it. I hope that you decide to join if this is an area of your life that you're looking to improve. One other quick note, some of you may have noticed it's a different voice today. This is Ben from the podcast, and I will be making some videos for Charisma on Command this year. So I hope you liked this one, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.